morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Now, first of all, no sunrise this morning. Nope, too cloudy. We are going to be using the XF66. Now, I know that that's not exactly quite right. It might be a little bit too dark. Might not be enough silver in it for some people. But that's what we're going to use. And I'm not too worried about that. If I don't have the deck exactly right, well, it's the way it goes. As I've indicated before, I am not a rivet counter. But I'll tell you something that really does bother me. And in yesterday's episode, the scene just before I moved in and we poured the paint through the filter, the scene just before that, I can't remember what it was about anymore, but what I do remember was it was out of focus. And yeah, the camera was focused on the background. And Jeff Donahue's card up there, it was nice and sharp, but everything up right here that was important, it was kind of blurry. Now there's going to be people that are going to say, I never noticed that. I'll bet you there's people right now are thinking, I didn't notice that. Well, I sure noticed it, and it bothered me. That kind of thing bothers me. Not the fact that the rivets are wrong. I was listening to another creator, and I think it was oh my goodness, I'm having trouble remembering names lately. This is not good, folks. Anyway, model kit stuff. And yeah, Jason. And Jason was talking about the build that he's doing on his 1/200 scale. I think it's pronounced Steinhorst or something. I can never get that one right either. Anyway, and he was mentioning that the only thing correct with the hull is the length. Everything else was something wrong with it. Now, stuff like that bothers some people. Oh, and Jason was indicating that he was only going to go so far with, trying to make it right. And, well, that's about the way I sort of feel with this. I'm only going to go to so much effort here to try and make it right. I'm not going to go to the hobby store and get more paint if I've got something that is, in my opinion, almost right. Anyway. Yeah. I think rather than flopping my gums here and making a fool of myself, I think that we should sort of recompose here and get at it. Okay, I might need that for getting the tip cleaned off. And remember, we were saying yesterday we're going to remove the nozzle tip, or not, I mean the needle cap. And the reason I'm doing that is so that we'll have less chance of spitting. Now the problem is with that is when I am placing the airbrush back into the holder here, I want to be careful that I don't catch the end of the tip of the needle on something and bend it a little bit. So far I've been lucky. Now if you remember yesterday when I was pouring this, I had quite a problem with it. It was went down the sides. I don't think I've ever experienced that before. And this is nicely thinned. Debating, do I use the pipette here to fill up the reservoir, or do I try to pour it again and hold something along the edge for it to pour down? Sometimes that works too, although I think I've only tried that one time. And usually, if I can get where the threads are closest to the lip, like right here, you can see it's kind of ending right there. Well, if I can That's about as high as it's going to go. Usually, this will work. Let's just move this out of the way here and I'm going to try it one more time. I imagine this hopper is going to take about half of this. Here we go. Yeah, I made it. All right. Bonus. All right, let's get our caps on before stuff starts to dry again. I'm going to do my best to try and keep everything on camera here. I sometimes forget. All right, now we'll get this one on here. Now, I do believe that we've got enough in here to do all 6 pieces. At least that's the plan. Okay, are we ready? I think we're ready to go here. Oh, I didn't check my regulator. Okay, I've got it set for about 15 pounds. And let's give her a little whirl here. We'll get our fan going. Okay, let's see how much we used here now. Not very much. I probably could have got away with the smaller reservoir. Okay, I'm going to let those dry. We might have to respray. We might not. I was pretty careful about, trying to get everywhere. But sometimes when the paint's not dry, you can't really tell. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just spend a few minutes and clean everything up. There, see, it's just as easy to pour back a lot as a little. At least that's my opinion. Alrighty, careful now, Ron, for your needle. Oops, wrong cap. And clean this off here. I think I started to say yesterday the reason that I try to get the paint off of here before I put the lid on is so that if the paint does dry while the lid is on, it makes it easier to get it off. And lately I've been finding that occasionally I have to heat the lid to get it off. And that works. Okay. I am very happy with the way the 66 went on this time. I didn't flood it on anywhere for a change. Yeah, and there's only one place where it is maybe a little bit thin, and that is right here. Now, I believe that there's an electric motor goes right in here, and this is in the aft section, and I think that this part right here is along the back I was going to say wall, superstructure, and or bulkhead, and I think that the motor is going to hide this right here anyway, where it is maybe just a little bit on the thin side. Otherwise, the rest of the parts look really good to me. I am going to have to probably paint a different color in here, maybe use the panel line accent color to bring these up. And yet, on the other hand, it's possible we're not going to be seeing it anyway. We'll have to just sort of have to see where does it come when we start putting modules in place. We are actually ready now to do one of two things. We either take the panel line accent color and try and, to bring out the detail in the decking, or just leave it. And I'm thinking at this point, being as it is going to be so, all of this is going to be so cluttered with little parts that I don't know, I'm afraid if I start messing around with the panel line accent color, I'm going to make it worse. So that means we have to put this piece on, and I think it goes right there. And then we take a couple of the air tanks, and they go right here. And then we are done step 12. It'd be nice to finish step 12 today. Yeah, this went really good, and I'm sorry, and yet I'm, I shouldn't have to apologize for the color I used. To my way of thinking, this looks like a deck that would have been painted when the submarine was new. I mean, I realize that when people walk on them, the paint's gonna wear off and the steel is gonna get all shiny, and I know that's what some people were getting at, and I understand that, and I agree, but let's just move on. Otherwise, if I keep bogging myself down with little details that really are of not importance to me, like I'll waste a lot of time doing something that nobody else cares about, but it's of interest to me, and that's why I'm doing it. Whereas trying to make this deck look exactly right is not of interest to me. Okay, I think I beat that to death, didn't I? Yeah, let's recompose here, get our parts down, and get step 12 done. Now, when I was removing these 7 pieces off of the paint jars, I was noticing that right here, it might be a little difficult to see, but I'm looking more or less straight down on it. I can see it is also a little bit thin right here where I'm touching. And I was thinking, well, I wonder what it is that plugs in there, because I was envisioning this the way it is here in the manual. And I was thinking we look at it, this way, but actually this is backwards. I should have recognized that. And it actually goes this way. Okay? So what we've got going on here is this piece here that we made quite a while ago is going to plug in right there, like that. Something like that. There. It's kind of locked into place. Almost. Anyway, we are not going to see the fact that it's kind of faint in there. Okay, so that's kind of good. Now, a few minutes ago, I was checking my email, and we got a message from Anna at Bill's Honda. And yeah, well, you can read the text for yourself there. And so that's kind of good news. I'm getting myself sort of all excited again. Not that I have lost excitement, believe me. What I do almost every evening, just before I go to bed, is I'll check YouTube and see if anybody has uploaded anything new that I haven't already seen regarding the Honda Rebel. And it's amazing the amount of stuff that's people have, really good quality stuff that people have put out there. I now know all the little quirks about it, and what people like and don't dislike, and I think I'm going to be very satisfied when I get it. Anyway, yeah, got that to look forward to. Okay, now, if you look at our tanks here, you can see that they are not symmetrical. In other words, they're pointy at this end and got a flat piece on this end. And if we check the diagram here, you can see that the flat end goes this way. So that means that we got to try and plug it in something like this. I just want to see how easy it's going to go before I put the glue in. I just want to make sure the holes and everything match up properly. Now, generally, Trumpeter's parts do go together quite well, unless you're trying to do it on camera, and then they'll make a fool out of you. Well, there, I think that's sort of locked into place. I think that if I was to use some Tamiya thick here, so that it doesn't run all over the place. Now remember, this is the one that drips. We just have to be careful not to break these out afterwards. Okay, I don't know if this is the one that we tried before, but we're going to use this one. And let's just sort of trying to get myself down there so I can see it. There. It's in place. Now, can we do that a second time without making a mess? Come on. There we go. I can't get my... Oh, I see what's supposed to happen. These are supposed to pretty much butt against each other. Whoops. I almost had it. There we go. Yeah, I can see it's supposed to appear as though they're joined together. And it kind of is. Is this one not all the way down? Because this one looks lower. What's the problem going on here? Oh, wait, this is not in here. Yeah, this one is not going all the way down. It seems like. Okay, I think if we let it dry like that, just let me check the monitor. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, now the other piece. It goes right here. Where is it here? This one. Okay, that seems to fit okay. I'm just doing a dry run here. You may have noticed, and I noticed after I picked this thing up and was rearranging everything, that the tank on the right, it was not seated all the way down. So I have fixed that. And yeah, just thought I'd let you know, because if I saw it, could be some other people saw it as well. Okay, how are we doing here? We had it before. There, I think it's in place. Now, the side that is closest to you, like to me as well, is the side that's going to go up against the bulkhead here. So this just does not seem to want to lock in place here for some reason. What is the problem here? Why is this not going? Okay, there. I think I got it now. No, it was down, wasn't it? There we go. The pins are in the holes. Okay, a little bit of glue oozing out there, but that's going to be hidden. This is going to be the back side of the sub that we are not going to see. So we're going to view this part from this side here. Okay, you know what? I'm going to call her quits for this afternoon. It's what do we got here? It's 1:47 already, and I'm getting a coffee visitor later. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.